Hello, dear friends. Conscience is the most valuable thing we have and the most difficult to define. Opinion piece. Cosmic consciousness. Enter the flow. The devil is angry. Resting much. What you deny subdues you. What you accept transforms you. Intuition and logical thinking. How to enter high consciousness. Final battle to three-dimensional cycle. Let's start. Consciousness is the key to entering the new world. You hold this key the moment your consciousness tells you, do or fail. At that moment, you are on your own. No one will judge you or reward you, but you will feel it when it actually happens. It is the end of an era and the beginning of a new age, according to Peter B. Meyer. The fish only knows it lives in the water after it is shipwrecked on the river bank. Without a otherworldly awareness, it would never occur to us to change. Most people gain awareness where the privilege ends. When you consciously choose to be ordinary, you become extraordinary. Sadhguru said. Consciousness is the best agent of change. Conscience is like a glass. If it is not clean, it will dirty whatever is poured into it. There is no better medicine than to have cheerful thoughts and a clear conscience. There is no better pillow than a peaceful conscience. A clear conscience makes you strong. Emanuel Swedenborg teaches that each person is free to choose heaven or hell. What is needed to change a person is to change the conscience of himself, said Abraham Maslow. The person who is not at peace with himself will be at war with the whole world, said Mahatma Gandhi. The whole idea of compassion is based on an acute awareness of the interdependence of all living beings, that they are part of each other and we are all implicated in each other, said Thomas Merton. Conscience is the divine presence in the humankind, said Victor Hugo. Those who learn nothing from the unpleasant events of their lives force the cosmic consciousness to reproduce them as many times as necessary in order to learn what the trauma of what happened teaches, said Carl Gustav Jung. What you deny subdues you. What you accept transforms you. Definition. Consciousness is the psychic faculty by which a subject perceives himself in the world. It is the clear and reflective knowledge of reality that allows us to recognize the surrounding world. In the area of artificial intelligence, the idea of creating machines or programs sufficiently complex to give rise to an artificial consciousness have been worked on, but some have denied the possibility that a computer could give rise to something indistinguishable from a human consciousness. Harmony. When people are in good health, the body is in a complete harmony and is able to heal itself and increase its vitality. Furthermore, measurements of the Schumann resonance gave a frequency of 7.838. What is even more interesting, this frequency applies to mammals, because this frequency converts foreign negative forces into positive energies through the body's chakra system. Chakra is a Sanskrit word which literally translated means wheel or disc. To visualize a chakra in the body, imagine a spinning wheel of energy where consciousness and matter meet. It is believed that they are recharged through contact with the cosmic energy flow of the universe. Each chakra is connected to a specific gland, organ and body system, and also to a specific chromatic vibrational frequency. In addition, each energetic vibration has an important function in creating a balance. These energy centers vibrate at different levels, depending on the individual's awareness and ability to integrate the individual's characteristics into his or her life. The opening and flow of energy through your chakras is necessary to be fully self-aware and live in harmony with your spiritual nature, creating physical, mental, and emotional health. It is unnatural when an individual cannot activate consciousness due to emotional and physical imbalance, in which case the soul identity cannot be activated. As a result, they are unaware of why they incarnated on earth, what their higher purpose is, and they cannot connect or listen to their higher self, commonly known as intuition and logical thinking, because their higher sense perception is not activated. Ascension, by definition, is the path of those who choose to consciously move to a higher level of light. It can only be found when the consciousness is truly expanded enough to understand each lesson presented. Filters. As the days are numbered, humankind's consciousness is expanding at the speed of light. What once took centuries is now taking place in a few weeks or months. Of course, there is a large part of humankind that still clings on the old energy grid of the planet and tries to maintain the status quo known as normal in the so-called comfort zone. According to Vital Force, most of the symptoms of pain, suffering, and discomfort are nothing more than the resistance to the necessary changes that each one of us is putting up. Resistance and struggle against these changes make life much more difficult and agonizing. That is why we always say, enter the flow. You have incarnated here at the best time on planet Earth. It is a privilege few have ever had. To live incarnate right in the last period of the planetary transition, that gives you a unique knowledge in the infinite universe. This knowledge will first be integrated into your highest version of yourself, that is, your monad. This knowledge, once it has reached the source, will also be integrated into all the higher selves of all the other monads that exist throughout the cosmos. Therefore, understand the magnitude of the responsibility that rests upon your shoulders at this time of planetary transition with the ascension of your soul. To fail now would be an immeasurable waste. It would be a loss of not just one opportunity, but hundreds of incarnations in a well of reconciliation and trials. To go through this cycle of learning again is, no doubt, an arduous task for any failed soul. Fortunately, much of humankind is reaching the frequency necessary for ascension. When we say that the West is over, we mean that the best is yet to come. However, each of you may find it easier or more difficult to cross the final bridge that separates dimensions 3 and 5. Individuality. Energy constantly passes through the consciousness of each human being to be worked out and creates each projected outcome. And if everything is energy, this explains the theory that we are co-creators of our reality. So we are all individuals, because there is individuality in every humankind on earth. Certainly, not two consciousnesses are alike. The soul embodied in a physical body is that individual consciousness. When we say that the ascension of the soul is dependent upon the state of its frequency, we are in fact indicating that the ascension is individual. Each consciousness will reach a level of frequency necessary to attain the frequency at which it can pass through the gateway of ascension. By vibrating in unconditional love, compassion, respect, solidarity, charity, and gratitude, the frequency is raised high enough at least to secure the 48th level for the 5th dimension. You are constantly bombarded by high frequency energy. which comes directly from the light, but you are also attacked daily by lower frequency energies sent to you by the dark lords. As in a true wrestling match, you find yourselves between the two forces. But now that only you can decide which side will win this fight, and you are the winner's trophy. At stake in this ongoing battle is your conscience, that is your soul. It is up to you to make this dispute less painful. The more pain and suffering you feel, the more energy the negative side of the dispute gives you. The more fear, anger, resentment, guilt, and hopelessness you feel, the more energy you give to the one who wants to prevent your release from this world of atonement and trial. Remember that the physical body is only the sounding board of the soul. All energetic imbalances take place in the subtle bodies before manifesting in the physical body. Filter all the energies before they take hold on you. Identify the frequency of each situation, of each person, of each piece of news, of each feeling, and above all, of each piece of information. Yes, today humankind is experiencing the final battle of the 3D cycle in which everyone is engaged. On one side, a soldier of information, on the other side, a soldier of disinformation. Choose your side. Choose which lord you want to serve. Remember the phrase, you cannot serve two masters at the same time. There are not two seats for every soul on the platform of life, but there are two very clear timelines. And here is your choice. You will choose according to your frequency because there is no other way to do it. And once you have chosen a timeline, nothing can distract you from it. One will take you to the new earth, and the other will take you to exile, that is, to another 3D planet of atonement and tribulation. Watch the two armies at play. It has never been easier to perceive and identify one or the other. Identify the frequencies of both sides. Feel what resonates within you. Do not try to guess, for there is no need to waste precious time now. Simply feel how it resonates with your inner frequency. No external force, no matter how powerful, can change that frequency. There will be no mistake, so do not be afraid to follow the timeline of your choice. Although your current frequency has been built up in successive incarnations, there are still choices that can alleviate your discomfort. Identify the frequency of everything you are told, everything you read, and especially everything the media allows you to reach. If you already have the frequency of the new earth, absorbing this information energies will delay you a little in crossing the 4D-dimensional bridge, and will also cause you unnecessary pain and discomfort. Filter. Filter everything and do it quickly. Every time you receive information, feel in your heart whether or not it resonates with what you believe and know. Even with the limiting beliefs that have been imposed on you over the centuries, you have the innate capacity to feel. Feeling never cheats. Feeling is the actualized quantum program that exists within you. Those who still vibrate in the old energy are destined to tune into misinformation because it triggers evolutionary regression. If you are vibrating in the new frequencies of the earth, you will naturally feel sympathy or not for the message or news brought. The present earth is something we can compare to a radio set, which has only two wave frequencies on its tuning scale. Your soul will choose one. It will choose the energetic vibration without noise. It will choose the station with which it feels comfortable. Nothing and no one can prevent this decision. It is the exercise of the free will of each consciousness. But remember, no one will appear before you and tell you what decision to make. You are not dependent on anything external to make it. Your frequency will do it automatically through attunement and sympathy. use your energetic filter. This tool has always been at your disposal. I am Viral Frosty, and my mission is enlightenment. Reset news. The devil is angry. The Federal Reserve was shut down and voted up. The biggest moves are made behind the scenes. Do nothing and stay where you are, or dream the impossible. They are trying to create a world for destruction and chaos. Be kind in a world where one can be anything. The old world is dying and the new world is being born. The fiat world collapses and commodities return. Pressure on OPEC to increase oil production fails. China, Russia, India, and the Middle East stop using the fiat system. More and more countries use the Chinese yuan in digital transactions for payments. A Russian bank issues bank guarantee in Chinese yuan using blockchain. Russia imports chips despite Western sanctions, according to the Wall Street Journal. Russia exports almost twice as much wheat amid conflict in Ukraine, according to Bloomberg. Russian imports return to 2020 levels despite sanctions, according to Bloomberg. Mexico's super peso strengthens against the dollar to its best level since 2018. One event that should kickstart the QFS is the implementation of ISO 20022, scheduled for 20th March 2023. The QFS has been running concurrently with our old banking system. It is believed that the currency revaluation would occur after the markets close on Friday or when all the world's banks are closed on Saturday night, but Charlie Watt believes it would occur on Thursday. It feels like purgatory and we're still pushing a boulder uphill. Banking as we knew it has been dying for the last 15 years. Rates keep bouncing all over the place when you ask bankers. With the economy in freefall, central banks pump money into the market. Hundreds of thousands of traders do not trust the COMEX silver market. Crypto markets are falling like crazy as a prelude to the stock market crash. The collapse of cryptos could wipe out the system, says Bob Moriarty. There's going to be a chaos, but it's only chaos if you are not prepared for it. If people are prepared, they can thrive during this crisis. As soon as the ATMs were activated, we knew change was coming. The White Hats control Germany, Japan, the UK, and New Zealand. They have done everything possible to prevent the use of hydrogen as a cheap, non-polluting, and virtually unlimited fuel. The meditative warrior uses his fire wisely and keeps his limits firmly in place. The three rabbit holes are truth, lie, or truth and lie mixed in a stew. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is thinking of running according to the Storm Rider. Another good train derails again in Ohio. FDA bans Elon Musk Neuralink's humankind experiments. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.